Hey, man.
I'm bricked up. I don't know about you.
Well, I don't know about what that has to do with anything, but welcome back to the Headaches and Hot Takes podcast. I'm your host, Shapirian. That over there is my co-host, Hearn, a.k.a. Socrates, the soda jerk, a.k.a. Captain Quackenbush, connoisseur of rubber duckies, a.k.a. Baroness Buttercream, Duchess of Donuts. And I have to keep it real with you, Hearn. I have to keep it real with you. Can we have a quick little moment? Like, co-host, like real?
Cue the soft music.
I have to be honest with you. Your fans are not the people calling you those this week.
The Duchess of Donuts? That is me.
No, I don't think it is. At least I've never heard any of your fans call you that. But you know who did call you that this week?
Whom?
Artificial intelligence. Because we have just had artificial intelligence design this entire podcast episode for us, top to bottom, subject
Quite
by
literally,
subject.
yeah.
It's going to be good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. I honestly was tempted to, like, literally after you said a line, I was going to like ask ChatGPT, like, respond to the phrase, aren't you excited? Like, and everything I say is AI generated, literally everything.
I mean, I'm sure, first of all, I'm sure someone somewhere has done that, right? We're not acting like we're the first people to have ChatGPT design our podcast
Did
for
you
us.
Did you see Stefan Diggs's, like, farewell to Buffalo? Somebody typed
AI.
in, like, to ChatGPT, like, say a farewell letter, and it was like 90% match for AI generated.
All of those that people have been doing, the farewells, the thank you to this city, which I guess is also a farewell. The people that are like declaring for the draft, they're like, write a letter, of me leaving the schools, I declare for the draft. They're all AI generated these days, which is wild because no one's making you make that post. If you don't want to do the post, don't do the post.
Just don't do it. That's what I'm saying, dude.
I don't feel like it. Then don't do it.
I hate being fake. Either do it and mean it, or I don't know. Or
Well,
at least acknowledge the fact, like, yo, ChatGPT made a dope farewell photo for me. Cool.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I think AI has done a fantastic job of curating a Headaches and Hot Takes episode. We did our best. We fed it some former subjects, some former hot takes. I fed it former nicknames that Hearn's fans call him in order to help it create 3 more that his fans might call him but haven't yet. And that's the kind of thing that we're doing. What is that?
The Duchess of Donuts, especially, because donuts
Baroness Buttercream.
Than bagels.
Baroness, they called you. I thought about moderating it to call you Baron Buttercream, but I'm like, no, it called you Baroness and the Duchess. I mean, it is what it is, man.
It's fine. That's fine.
So, but that being said, last week we tried something new. We're like, let's actually preview the episode so they know what they're going to listen to. That's as much of a preview as you're getting this week. I don't want you to know what we're going to talk about yet. Let's just get into it.
We are abandoning that track immediately.
Speaking of abandoning that track immediately, remember Meme of the Month? I think we did one time.
I don't even remember at this point. I think January we said was
Dancing Dragons. Best thing about it is that legit, going into our first episode in March, meaning like we would have February's Meme of the Month, we had a meme ready. We had it ready.
Yeah.
It was ready to go.
Which was what?
I don't remember.
I think this was either the meme for February or it was what I said. Man, I think that might combat Dancing Dragons. And it was you have been promoted.
Oh, yeah.
You are now one of my elite employees. Was that February, though?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah. We had it ready to go, and we forgot to discuss it. And then the week after that, we were like, we forgot to discuss Meme of the Month. But then we had like a week off. I think we double recorded episodes that didn't record in either. We had like a trip or something where we had to go out. And then it was like 3 weeks late, and it's like, well, here we are. Now it's time to discuss Marches. We didn't do February's. Therefore, it's canceled. Maybe next year.
Yep. We also, the creator of Dragon Ball, RIP'd.
Yeah.
And Godzilla won an Oscar for the first time in its 70 years of existence. And we both wore Japanese attire to honor our fandoms, and literally didn't say a thing about it.
Yeah. It was like timely too. It was like that week. I was like, I'll wear Dragon Ball. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. And you're like, I'm pumped about Godzilla.
Didn't say a thing. Did not say a word about it.
So we're terrible about that, bro. We're really bad about that. You know that big solar eclipse that happened? Didn't talk about that. You know, like Easter candy, we could have discussed a couple weeks ago. Didn't talk about that. We're terrible at this.
We're gonna argue about baseball.
We're like, why do we only have 22 subscribers on YouTube? And they're like, bro, we ain't discussing anything we're supposed to. Like, maybe look inward. But it's okay. AI is here to help. Okay, it is here to help. Hey, if this goes well, we might have it right out every episode and just not tell you in the future. I guarantee there's. I guarantee.
It knows better than us.
I guarantee there's a podcast out there that is entirely written by AI every single week. Not like word for word, but like subject for subject. Guarantee it. Guarantee it.
For sure it is.
So, that being said, we do typically discuss what we like to call a curveball. It just kind of stuck. It's a little colloquial term that you started using and I started using it back, and now it's basically cemented as part of the episode. A little beginning of the episode curveball. Mm-hmm. Would you like to get started with this week's, Hearn?
What is this week's curveball, pal?
You want me to just read it? It's from AI.
Yeah.
We're letting AI give the takes this week. We're letting AI intro the subject. We're letting AI give us the curveball. It has the hot take of the week. We're going to read its whole hot take. So that being said, without further ado, here is the curveball this week. The Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. Have you ever experienced the sensation of learning about something new only to suddenly notice it everywhere? It's called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, also known as frequency illusion. Let's share our experiences of this phenomenon and speculate on why it occurs. Is it just a coincidence, selective attention, or something more mysterious?
There are some things in this world that we cannot understand.
I don't think I know what that reference was, pal.
That was like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures, whatever. That's how it opened.
Yeah, you missed me with that one. Sounds funny, though.
Okay. You didn't watch like Taps or like Ghost Adventures growing up? You didn't watch that stuff?
Neither of those two, but I've seen ghost hunting shows, I will say. Yeah.
I don't know what else you're watching then. But yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
There's a bunch of those, but
there were a few of them.
So there was like 10,000 Storm Chaser shows besides Storm Chasers, you know what I mean? So
yeah. It's
thoughts on this?
It's selective attention. I have noticed this specifically with cars. Like, I had a Dodge Caliper for a while. It's a car that probably you don't, unless you know what I'm talking about.
I know what a Caliper
don't
is.
even know
I do know
what it
about
is.
Dodge Calipers, yeah.
I had never seen it before I got it, and then I saw them everywhere. I was like, what? So it's 100% selective attention. I think whenever we vacationed somewhere and we rented a minivan for a week just to see what it was like. I mean, honestly, really enjoyed it. First off, but second off, it was like, oh, like there's a minivan, there's a minivan, there's a minivan. Like it's definitely selective attention.
I feel like it is too, but I have a story as of just last weekend, which made the fact that it came up with this as our curveball very interesting. It's kind of paradoxical a little bit, actually.
Mysterious.
Kind of paradoxical a little bit, like kind of. You know what I mean? It's kind of, like kind of.
How paradoxical? How?
The fact that I'm like, I very recently had something like this, and I feel like that happens a lot, where I don't know something exists, and then I start seeing it everywhere, and then here we are 5 days later, discussing this on our podcast because ChatGPT said, "Here's an idea you could discuss. How about that thing when something appears after you learn it exists all the time?" And I'm like, I just discussed how this is a thing that happens last week.
What?
You know me, I'm a big time collector. We've discussed this a little bit before. I like collecting figures. Recently got into comics, Legos, stupid stuff. And last week, it made its way onto my timeline. I don't know how. It wasn't somebody that I follow, but I guess it knows, like, you like figures, here you go. Someone posted an entire end cap at a Target, okay? Of these figures called Mythic Legions figures. Have you ever heard of these, Hearn? Me neither.
Nope.
Me neither. Never heard of them even once. It's not, and I don't know how that's possible. I literally right then and there asked my wife, who, like, if I don't know it, there's almost no chance she knows. I was like, you ever seen these before? She was like, no. I'm like, yeah, me neither. How do they have an entire end cap at Target that is worthy of someone saying, hey guys, there's a whole stocked end cap of these? I'm like, what are these? I then later that day go to a local toy store in Cincinnati. It's like a vintage toy store. They sell old games, old toy stuff like that. And outside they have like a whole wrapping over their windows, okay? That has like the stuff they carry. like WWF, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Ninja Turtles. Guess what was freaking on there that I parked right in front of? Yes.
That thing that I already forgot the name of.
Mythic Legion. It's such a freaking generic name. And if you look them up, they look like generic figures. They look like AI designed them. They don't look real, bro. And so I'm like, what? There's no way. Right? Like,
Okay.
to even be discussed among these other figures, I'm like, how have I never heard of these until this morning? And here it is right in front of my face. It definitely selective attention. They definitely didn't just recently add it or anything. And then 2 or 3 days later, walking through Target, noticed them for the first time ever. There wasn't a lot of them at this Target. There wasn't a full end cap stock like that photo I saw. There was like 4 or 5 of them. I was like, okay, I guess these are a thing now that I'm just gonna see in my life and notice when I've never heard of them. So I looked up a couple of them. I was like, are these expensive or something? What's the deal? No, they all go for like retail value, at least the ones that I found. I'm like, what is the deal with these? Where did these come from? Where did they go? Where did they come from? Heck if I know.
Cargo Space? No, Cargo Road.
Space. What's that from? Sounds like Monty Python.
This memes where like people like take things literally. So it's like Cargo Space. I gotta at a car dealership. Cargo Space? You know, talking about the car? And the guy's like, no, Cargo Road.
Cargo Space?
It's so stupid. Yeah.
That's honestly like very Monty Python-esque humor to me, honestly.
Yes,
That's how
I find it hilarious.
First took it, yeah. So I'm going to say it's definitely selective attention, but I'd like to think in terms of what I'm running to at the toy aisle or in a vintage toy store, I'm pretty aware and attentive anyways. You know what I mean? Even the stuff I don't like. I don't collect G.I. Joes. I don't collect Star Wars. I don't collect a lot of the stuff that I find at a vintage toy store like this. Warhammer is one of those games you see all the time, those little figures that you like paint for yourselves. I don't know a thing about it. I see it everywhere. I could tell you where to find it. I could tell you who carries it. Where did these figures come from? Mythic Legions. What the frick are they?
Never heard of them, but then the name alone almost makes me not want to get into it, honestly, because it's so generic. Like, okay, that's not creative at all.
Dude, not kidding you a bit. Like, Google, I'm going to show you a couple real quick as we're discussing this, and then if you find it interesting enough, you could put a picture of them in the podcast. Look how freaking generic they do look, too. It's not just... That's why I'm like, this is trippy. This is a whole thing. A whole end cap at Target. Think about that. That's usually what you see for, like, Barbie, Lego, whatever has a new movie in theaters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, huh? What are these, bro? There you go. There's a picture of one. Look how lame these look.
These are not anything that hasn't been done in
10,000
100 years. No.
Yeah. It is a
a big
fantasy
Cyclops
world.
guy. Whoa. Oh,
Right.
a knight with a shield. Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh, a wizard with
Literally.
a staff. Ooh. Very
I know.
cool. Thank you, Kanye.
I do feel like... Hold on. Is there something you can tell me about here? When did these start? 2015. Okay. So they're not like old, but they're not mega new either. I don't know. And it's possible that I'm seeing them now. People are talking about them being in Targets because they're new to Targets. That happens. That kind of thing happens. Hey, look, carrying these. Hey, look what's now in stock. You know, I remember when Walmart dedicated a whole section to Funko Pops, and it was a big deal. They're like, yo, Walmart's going to have like a whole thing of Funko Pops now. That's going to be mixed in. So maybe it was one of those things that I was seeing, and that's why I just hadn't heard of it. But I was tripping out a little bit. So
Tripping balls.
I was tripping ball sack a little bit, man. I'm going to keep it real, man. I was
People
tripping a little bit ball sack.
When people say it's hot as balls out here, how do you think the average ball is? Probably
Probably
80? 80?
Probably about 6.
80-degree ball?
Probably about 2. Probably about 6.
6 eels.
Yields.
Literally.
So I thought that was interesting. I don't know. Let me know at home if you have any examples that hit home for you of the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon.
Classic.
The classic Bader-Meinhof phenomenon.
Classic Bader-Meinhof
Real talk.
phenomenon.
Real talk. Let's take note. Okay? Mark the date, Gina. May 15th. Oh, honey, we are well into October. Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference. Sorry. Let's take note where we're at. Okay? We've never heard of the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. Okay? Right?
But we know of its phenomenon.
Yes, but we've never heard somebody name drop it. I can promise you I've never seen a TikTok or a social media post being like the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon.
And you're saying now we're going to see the Bader-Meinhof
Let's just
phenomenon.
take note next time we see it. Next time we see it on TikTok or something like that, YouTube. Let's take note. Like, there it is. Now it just happened. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, no. So
understand.
I think we can leave that there, if that's cool with you.
Leave it.
But now,
okay.
now I'm going to take it, actually. Take it or leave it. I believe it's time for my favorite segment of the week, not your favorite segment of the week. If you would like to intro
Absolutely not.
the segment for the artificial intelligence that has come up with our lovely discussion topic for this segment this week.
The AI has come up with the hot take of the week. We asked it to come up with some unpopular opinions, hot takes, whatever, and of course, dude, I don't know why. This is like the...
It is.
We said it would
it's
say
like
it.
the take.
I said it's going to say blank. And it did like 8 times. It would ask like 10 more hot takes, 10 more hot takes. The number of times it said, pineapple belongs on pizza. That's not a hot take, I don't think. I don't think it's even if it is a hot take, it's not like anymore. I don't think it's that worthy of a discussion. And we would even specify that. We would say, like, make it where we could debate, like, whatever. And it would either say that, or it would say, like, what's the word? Misogyny? It kept on hating on? Was that the one?
Patriarchy. Monogamy.
Specifically.
Monogamy. And then blame down the patriarchy. Sorry.
Yeah. It was like, we should just bang whoever we want. Like, ChatGPT kept on saying that.
It did. Like, ChatGPT was a little horned up, not gonna lie to you, bro. It was a little bricked up.
Yeah, he was.
Just like her to start the show.
It's Friday night, but...
it's Saturday night.
So... We asked it, and finally it came up with something that we were like, we could at least discuss that. Yeah. At least spark a discussion.
It took us long enough to realize, let's feed it some of our past examples. And then we got to go on to discuss. We're like, finally! We gave us some past hot takes of the week.
Based off of my hot takes.
Had to come up with one. Yes. Well, not just yours. But,
based off of my hot takes.
Okay. Yeah, you can have possession of those. You
heard
it
here
first. What?
You heard it here first.
You hoodie.
What did it tell us?
You do it. You talk. I talk too much on this freaking podcast.
What are hot dogs? What are hot dogs? You may be wondering. What are they? Hot dogs or sandwiches? Join us as we ignite the age-old debate. Are hot dogs sandwiches? Let's delve into the definition of a sandwich and determine whether the beloved ballpark snack qualifies as one. It's a culinary conundrum that's sure to spark spirited discussion.
Yeah. You know, boss, Headaches and Hot Takes pod here for spirited discussion, nothing else.
Sorry, pal. I think hot dogs are sandwiches.
Interesting. You do think they are sandwiches?
Mm-hmm.
Could you care to elaborate? Because they certainly don't seem like a traditional sandwich, like a sub, a ham and cheese, tuna salad.
I pretty much agree with one Reddit post made God knows when that said basically every single food is either a sandwich, a salad, or a soup. That's
a different discussion that I do disagree with and I don't want to dig into. To be honest with you.
Okay.
I disagree with that as a
That's an interesting topic that we'll talk about some other time.
Yeah, I didn't interrupt with that subject. But keep going. You can talk about how that influenced you, obviously.
So, I pretty much agree that everything is either a soup, a salad, or a sandwich. A hot dog is literally meat plus whatever else, condiments, other things, between bread. Now, if you're just eating a hot dog, like a literal just like the log... I guess it's not a sandwich.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, what if you're eating a pepperoni stick? It's none of those three things.
Then you're weird. First off, you need to eat something
else. What about like a Slim Jim? Chips.
You need to eat something else.
Chips. What about chips?
Well, the main thing I saw, which I agree with, was like the premise of everything is either a soup, a salad, or a sandwich. It has to be like an entree. It can't be chips. It can't be Twizzlers.
Okay, but I would say like chicken patties. Fried chicken. What's fried chicken? That's an entree, bro. That is an entree. We don't have to have this discussion now. I'm sorry. We don't have to.
Don't ask me questions and then shoot it down.
Shut up!
Hot dogs are sandwiches. I think if they have to be something, I think they're sandwiches.
I so wholeheartedly disagreed with this up until about 2 years ago. I do agree with you, though, that I think hot dogs are sandwiches. But it's because of the fact that I've had personal experiences that changed my mind on it. I feel like that's frequent. Like, if you're going to change your mind, it's usually because something happens to you personally that changes your mind about it? It
So
makes
what
it sound deeper
happened-
than it is for this. I know.
Yeah.
You shut your freaking mouth over there. Let's get one thing straight.
I asked the question.
This is not.
I asked what
This
happened.
is not your podcast. It's my podcast, and I'll say what I want.
I asked what happened. I'm genuinely curious.
I'm messing with you, bro.
I'm not. What happened? Get on with it.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, I wanted to point out the irony or the selfishness of most of us be like, I have to have a personal experience to change my opinion.
On your wedding day.
Don't get the reference or the relation to this.
Isn't that the song? Like irony? Rain
I don't know.
on your wedding day.
I don't know. Is it called irony?
I think so.
You're more of a buff in that kind of stuff than I am.
Ironic.
Okay.
You know that song. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's like free. It's like a free ride when you've already paid. It's to get advice that you just didn't take. You've
No,
heard that song.
I don't know off the top of my head. I might know it. And just
I don't know
not
how
know.
rain on your wedding day is ironic. I really don't.
It's not ironic at all, right?
A free
just-
ride when you've already paid. That's
That's just bad luck, which is a totally different discussion to have. So,
Intent. Oh,
all I wanted to
foreshadowing.
say
Oh!
is that I hate that it took something happening to me personally for me to be able to logically agree with a subject that is just logic based, because it makes me feel small brained. But I feel like that is the case with most of us. You know what I'm saying?
That's why. Like, get to it. What happened that
Shut
made you say
up.
a hot dog is a sandwich? What
I
is it?
liked the pacing that I was going at, sir. Do you have a problem with it?
You're blue balling me. What happened?
Don't act like I haven't before.
Every episode, pal.
Every night when you go to sleep. Cincinnati style chili, one of my favorite foods in the whole world. Of course, frequently served as. Why is that eye roll worthy? Why?
Just
Why is
continue.
that eye
Just keep
roll
going.
worthy?
Just keep going.
Why is that eye roll worthy?
Just keep going.
I feel like
don't want to talk about
any
it. I
of
don't
the
wanna talk
things
about
I
it.
enjoy, any of the things I like, you're
No,
like,
I
oh,
know.
brother, this guy stinks. Anytime I mention it, anytime I mention anything,
No.
I'm like, hey, so the Bengals. You're like, God dang it, how do I talk about the Bengals? I'm like, God.
No,
okay.
that's not what happened. I'm excited to hear, like, just go. Like, of course it's Cincinnati. Go ahead.
God forbid. They obviously sell their chili, their well-known Skyline chili or Gold Star chili with conies, right? It's a chili dog with cheese. But I went to a place that was selling vegetarian versions of this chili when I was a vegetarian. And obviously I was like, well, I'm curious if they have a vegetarian hot dog too, because those do exist. They did not have them. Instead, you could either get a vegetarian three-way, which is chili, cheese, and spaghetti, which is really good. I know, right? Vegetarian three-way.
Man.
You can actually go up to a
Friday night.
five-way, four-way or five-way. And your four-way can be with beans or onions. If you're really feeling freaky out there. Yeah, I think they should definitely like change the lingo for what they call three-ways. But anyways, the other option, if you wanted it as a hot dog, is to get a vegetarian chili cheese sandwich. It is literally a hot dog without the hot dog. And I had no problems, as someone who was adamant hot dogs are not sandwiches. I had no problems for a year straight when I was getting these anytime I came to town, being like, can I get the vegetarian chili cheese sandwiches? Yeah, okay. And I was like, huh. If these are sandwiches and I have no problems calling these sandwiches, why aren't hot dog sandwiches? They have to be.
It is a sandwich. Yeah, the bun's different, but there are so many different buns.
Yeah.
So many different buns. So
I
many
mean,
different
here's
sandwiches.
the thing. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. But,
Go ahead.
like, I feel like if you go to Subway, right? They cut your bread open, but, like, that one side is not cut open. So, like, it's one half open, the other half is, like, sealed still.
Sometimes.
You flip that up, right? What is that?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a hot dog bun.
They're
Yeah.
all, yeah. We're all connected.
I had so much trouble acknowledging this. One of my favorite podcasts, done by The Mythical Kitchen, is called A Hot Dog is a Sandwich. Have you listened to it? It's good.
No.
It's just a food debate podcast. You would really like it if you like taste buds. So
Yeah, I love taste buds.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I have to get that a check. Yeah.
it's great. It's called A Hot Dog is a Sandwich. So one of their other
it
frequent
is.
takes is ice belongs in cereal. That's another discussion for another day. So I know, right? Stupid take. We'll talk
Or
about
something
it
like
another day,
pineapple-
maybe.
Pineapple belongs on pizza. I'm like, you know what? Like, that's fine. I don't see any pro of ice being in cereal.
It makes it extra cold. I'm like, it's cold enough. What kind of milk are you drinking?
On the counter? You refrigerate your milk? No? Okay, then you should be good.
So, I don't know.
Icy milk.
But why do you think so many people have a difficulty acknowledging the hot dogs or sandwiches if we both see them as one?
I mean, like, yes, obviously, like, at the end of the day, if I go to a ballpark and I'm not going to order, can I get a hot dog sandwich? I'm not going to say that. But if you had to pick what
sandwich
genre, I don't know what the word is. If you had to pick what category of food a hot dog is, it's a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't think that's hard to understand. And if you disagree, I honestly want to hear. You apparently did. I want to hear why
I did.
You think otherwise.
Because to me, I'm like, it's not a hot dog. It's not a sandwich. It's not a hot dog. It's a hot dog. It's not a sandwich. It's a hot dog. Just like I also would not have considered hamburger sandwiches. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't consider those sandwiches. Sandwiches to me.
What?
Yeah, I wouldn't have at the time considered a hamburger sandwich. I know.
You're stupid.
Stupid, right? I've been called worse. And also less true things. So, yeah, I get it.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, to me, I was like, subs. I mean, subs are short for submarine sandwiches. That's what that's short for. That's what they originally called them. Like, easily a sandwich, right? And then nobody's debating the white bread, wheat bread, peanut butter and jelly, ham and cheese, whatever, as sandwiches. I'm like, to me, hot dogs and hamburgers.
How did you not call a burger a sandwich, dude? That's blowing my mind.
Weird, right?
Burgers were sandwiches.
Because, like, what is a burger if you replace the patty with chicken?
A chicken sandwich?
Chicken sandwich. But because I'm just like, if they were sandwiches, wouldn't they call them burger sandwiches? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nobody does that.
It is weird. I'll give you that. Like, yeah, that's fine.
To me, I'm like, society has not agreed that these are called sandwiches. Therefore, no, they're not sandwiches. Just like the whole water is or isn't wet debate that I don't want to get into today. I'm like,
you're teasing a lot of stuff. Write this down. Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down, Patrick. Write that down. What about you're not wearing your sombrero in a goofy fashion? What, you mean like this? No, like that. The sea bear is so pissed off, but he can't attack unless the sombrero is being worn in a goofy fashion. You. So he goes, it's like, and he goes,
so stupid. That he does.
Real talk.
Is Edward.
We'll deviate from the AI subject just for a second here. At what age did you realize that literally all of the magazines that they sell in like the Walmart checkout aisles are not real? Because I knew like the National Enquirer, obviously fake. Obviously fake.
How?
Right?
How did we get here? How did we get here?
They read all that stuff in one of those magazines in the episode of SpongeBob. They were reading like how to protect yourself from a sea bear attack in one of those magazines. Those obviously fake National Enquirer.
They did, but this is your omni-brain. Your omni-brainness has struck again.
Omni-brain. That's one way to describe it.
The omni-brain.
Insults.
You're asking me what like, age did I realize Toby Keith, how he looks so young at 53. Is that you're asking me when I realized I don't give a crap about that?
Most of the stuff they're talking about and reporting as facts are not true. The National Enquirer, obviously fake. I knew from a very young age, like that one that looks like newspaper, right? With the other magazines, sometimes with like Time magazine, right? Like right in the same like aisle there. Obviously just fake, not real things they're reporting. But there's like Star magazine is one of them and stuff. Almost all of those are just reporting on things that aren't true as their cover stories.
Not only did maybe I didn't explicitly know that they weren't real, but I couldn't have cared less because most of those headlines were
the gossip.
You know,
gossip magazines, I think they're literally called.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a single like artist right now.
Taylor
Katy
Swift
Perry
tells Travis that
and
it's
boyfriend
over.
break up. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care that Katy boyfriend. I don't care that Katy Perry and her boyfriend broke up. I couldn't.
Doesn't mean Katy boyfriend.
Katy boyfriend. So no, I never paid attention to those. I guess.
Well, I feel like I just looked at all of them while I'm standing there in Walmart. One of the ones I remember, which was National Enquirer, is when I was like 5 or 6. This scared the crap out of me for like weeks. right?
World ending in 2012?
They were like, microphone picks up people from hell talking about a great time they're having. And it literally has a quote of like, hell is a blast. I was like, they reached the microphone down there and they heard. And I guess it was around that time that, like, I'm sure you've heard of this. They're like, they went down to like the deepest hole on the earth and you could hear screams. I'm sure you've seen that. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm not here to discuss if that's true or not. I don't know and I don't care. But it was around that time, I imagine. And I don't know if I was like old enough to know that that was fake at the time, 6 or 7. I'm like, scary, yeah. You know what I mean? Like why are they? Who's buying these? How are these businesses?
That's what I. Yeah, if your mother bought those magazines as you said in Walmart, your mother was
questionable. Let's just say you're probably a little bit messed up. Probably. But sorry for deviating so strong from the AI generated subject. I
just love how like you nitpick, like you choose. Like there's been at least 2, if not 3 subjects thus far. You're like, oh, but we're not getting into it right now. But then you're like, the magazines. We'll deviate for the sake of the magazines.
I try to not talk about like big, broad, easily debatable discussions that easily should be saved for another episode. Like half the stuff that we touched on.
Long
I'm like,
as
this is not a subject.
Bring them up. I promise you, that's what we need to do. The time, whenever the time comes that we're like, what are we gonna talk about this week? I genuinely have no idea. We're gonna go back and we're gonna watch all the episodes where we've had moments like this. We're like, that's good. We'll talk about that later because I don't think we've done it at all. I don't think we've ever come back to something that we said we're gonna talk about.
Probably not. We made it this far, so look at us now. We need someone else to come up with subjects for us.
Are we sticking to this? Are we going back on the script of the main subject of this week? Or
I feel like we're to the point where closing remarks are proper, and unless you want to talk about the other thing, I don't care. It's your podcast. You say whatever you want.
No. Let's get back on the rails, baby.
Okay.
And we're gonna go back. So again, all AI generated. We generated. Good Lord, how long were we on the phone for? 20 minutes trying to find
20 minutes.
Subject?
Yeah.
Finally got one that we both talked about this before. I don't know how we didn't think of this, but we won.
I thought about saying it soon. I thought you would disagree because I feel like most people do on the surface disagree with this.
Disagree with this? Okay.
Hot dogs or sandwiches? We're talking about the main subject.
No, I'm talking about the next thing.
You're moving on. I'm sorry. My fault.
Oh my God.
Wasn't clear to me that you were moving on. You said, like, let's get back to it.
Let's get back on the rails and move on to the next
subject. Are they or are they not? I don't freaking know. It's his podcast. He can say whatever he wants.
Do you have anything else to say?
No. Follow on your lead. You say whatever you want.
I'm gonna give you 2 full seconds to make sure. We asked AI for several subjects.
Allen Iverson, the answer.
And finally, we arrived at a subject that, again, this subject we've both discussed amongst ourselves. So we probably would have talked about this eventually anyway. But AI discovered it for us.
Yes.
The concept of luck. Allow me to read from ChatGPT.
Give us the take.
Whether it's winning the lottery, stumbling upon life-changing opportunity, or simply avoiding a disastrous outcome, luck seems to play a mysterious role in our lives. Let's share our personal beliefs and experiences with luck. Do we believe in it? And if so, how much influence do we think it has on our success and failures? Buddy, we have both said that we have the worst luck. I have long said I will never go to Vegas solely because if I set foot in a casino, I'm losing every time. I could be betting with free money. I'm not going to win. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And people have told me that, like, oh, you're just looking like you're looking for negative. I promise I'm not. Like, whenever I point half of these things out, it's not me like, oh, woe is me. I literally laugh at it. Like, it's just like, of course. Like, it's just the way it is. The most recent example that I could give that, again, it's not even like, oh, well, that really sucks. It's just a coincidence. Last summer, we were trying to get 6-month photos done for our daughter. Born in February. It's around like August-ish, whatever. We're trying to get July, August. We're trying to get 6-month photos done. We had...
Write that down.
You can fact check this. We had the second driest summer in Texas since the 1800s. It sincerely did not rain for like 2 months straight. Obviously, in the way before that streak, probably right when that streak started, we booked these photos. It had not rained in 2 straight months, the second driest year since the 1800s. When is the one, not only the first day, but the one day it rains? When our photos are scheduled. And that is the perfect example of like, of course. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, all we had to do was reschedule. We literally rescheduled to the next day because it wasn't raining the next day. How crazy. It wasn't like some big, like, oh, woe is me moment. I'm telling you, dude, if I'm like, man, this would be great if this works out, then it will not. It will rain when it's not supposed to rain. Another example I'll give really quickly, and then I'll let you take the floor.
For sure.
Last year, our good friend and my favorite NFL teams were playing each other. There was one weekend, we knew this before the schedule dropped. I said there is one weekend of the entire season where I will not be able to go. When was that one game played? On that exact one weekend. I'm telling you, it's perfect. Dude. I'm like, of course.
18 weeks.
Out of 18
games.
weeks, there was one that I was like, I'm busy. I'm literally on vacation. And again, it's not woe is me. I was on vacation. It wasn't like, I couldn't go to my NFL game because I was on vacation. But the fact is, it's the one time that it couldn't happen. That's when it happened.
I feel like that is the definition of my life summed up right there. And I'm not meaning to be woe is me either. But from the outside perception, especially from, those Andrew Tate bros out there that for some reason are always in your comment sections when no one asked. If you're out there and you like Andrew Tate, no one asked. Let's just be very clear here. All right?
You make it about you.
Well, let me tell I didn't ask. Okay? You know what I said at the beginning of the video? Like, who can't get YouTube subs? Don't want your sub. Get out of here. All right? Get out. We're good. We'll make it without you. But those people, I don't know. One of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time. I would say one of my top 3 or 4 most inspirational people in my life. I don't like using the word role models, but this person I would say was very inspirational and has played a role in that. CM Punk. You've heard me discuss him pretty regularly.
Look at my eyes.
He has a saying where he just says, luck is for losers. Luck is for losers. And I'm like,
okay.
Says the guy who's had a lot of big breaks in his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, says the guy who, and I'm not hating. I just said one of my biggest, inspirations in terms of public figures. I'm not hating when I say this. But like, says the guy whose WWE contract was expiring. They booked you in a main event pay-per-view match, knowing like, okay, your contract expires right after that. It was technically right before, and he signed an extension to get there, whatever. Mm-hmm. They book you in the main event against John Cena. The fans go more all in on you than they've ever been ever. And for some reason, WWE does something they've never done ever, to my knowledge, and have not done since. They literally hand him a microphone and say, we want you to go out there and air your grievances. Now, a lot of people say luck is where preparation meets opportunity. He's obviously, in my opinion, the most prepared person for that kind of moment. And the opportunity was there. So there's the luck, right? Mm-hmm. But he goes out. He cuts the most important promo in WWE history from the last 15 years, I would say. There's not been a more important single promo, speech if you're not a wrestling fan. Boom. Strap the rocket on him. His whole life has changed. He's now... You have heard of CM Punk and have known him for probably a decade or more, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
If not for this, you would not have. Even as someone who was a fan of his at the time, the average person does not know CM Punk if not for that. More than likely, okay? Again, not hating, big fan. And so I hear that, and I'm like, part of me wants to take that and be like, yeah, screw my bad luck. Keep moving, whatever. But I also feel like, what's wrong with acknowledging my luck is just really bad? Keep going on, keep pressing on, do what you can, make the most of your circumstances. But also, like, some people were born with millionaire parents. You know what I'm saying? You're going to act like they're not luckier than I am? Not complaining. It sounds very woe is me to those Andrew Tate bros out there. They're like, shut up, make you blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking about it. Bro, someone out there was, like, plenty of people out there were born with millionaire parents. Mm-hmm. Okay? There's plenty of people out. It cracks me up. Cracks me up. Kylie Jenner, the world's youngest self-made billionaire. I blocked Forbes out of spite that day. As if I showed Forbes. Blocked them. Mm-hmm. Because that is ridiculous. brainwashing propaganda type stuff. Self-made. God, you know? Yeah, why didn't I think about being born in the Kardashian family? Why didn't I think of that? Great job.
Poops?
Poop? Poop? Did he poop scoop?
Yeah.
That stuff cracks me up. So I have no issues with people who want to say, I worked really hard to get where I'm at. I'd say that's probably true. I don't have an issue with people saying luck is where preparation meets opportunity at all.
Okay, true.
One of the best examples of this I will give, and then I'll give the floor back to you for a little bit. Lil Nas X. When Old Town Road is not a song. Old Town Road took
gonna give it to you.
God, it's late.
It's not late.
It's not that late. I'm just trying to think when it's.
I just haven't had 3 G Fuels today, so I'm really slacking. Don't talk to me until I've had my G Fuels.
Hashtag not a sponsor. Hashtag should be. Hashtag could be.
Oh my God.
See, that's what every time I mention something I like, that's your response right there. Every freaking time. It's clockwork. I'm gonna put you on an oh God counter in the freaking corner of the screen.
Put me on an oh God counter. It's not because of something he liked. It's the way you bring it up. It's the way it's used.
It's just the way I am, bro. I don't know. It's just the way I am. Lil Nas X has Old Town Road go massively viral. Okay. I have often touted him as the picture-perfect example of someone who was ready for their opportunity. He had the social media game, the know-how. He had more songs in the works that he was ready to put out there. Apparently, he had one other small, like Sonic the Hedgehog theme song do decently well. I don't know anything about it. I had never heard of the guy until Old Town Road, right?
Uptown Road.
So he gets the Billy Ray Cyrus remix. He blows up, charts at #1, and then he's like, teasing my next hit right here. And it wasn't that great. It was Panini, right? And I'm not saying he's the role model for how you should act as a social media influencer. I'm just saying that guy was ready to make it big. He was just waiting for someone to recognize him. He blows up. He's never looked back. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. He's had other songs peak at #1 since then. You know what I'm saying? He was ready. But if that doesn't ever happen, I don't know. What are we thinking about luck here?
It just, dude, so I got a couple more examples I want to point out real quick. And again, like, is this luck, some of these things? I don't know. Like, I say, like, oh, that's just my luck. It's just the way things happen, to me, it's luck. So, like, for example, that same weekend that the Panthers played the Dolphins, that I couldn't go to, the Friday and Saturday before that, this wasn't planned. This was just like, of course it's happening then. I found this out after we discovered that we couldn't go to the game anyway. The Killers, which is our good friend's favorite band of all time, and Queen, my favorite band of all time. The Killers were opening on Friday. They were playing on Friday. Queen with Adam Lambert was playing on Saturday for some race. It was like a race. I don't care what the event was.
Formula
but
One?
the fact is, yeah. But the fact is, like, in a weekend event, his favorite band of all time, my favorite band of all time, also happened to be on the weekend that I couldn't go. Like of course. And that's where I say, like, of course. Of all of the 52 weekends of the year, it's on the one weekend where I couldn't go.
That's really
the best
rough.
summary. A small one that I'll say all the time, I've long said that I'm going to keep a track of this on my phone, and I really need to, because I promise you the chances of this happening are so high. If I go to a gas station, the chances that I pull up to, like, the one pump that, like, when you scan your card, it says see cashier, I promise you, like, 70% of the time. 70% of the time. It's like, please see cashier. And I look around and everybody else is paying at their pumps. So I'm like, no. So I get in my car and I move to the next pump.
Yeah.
It's the one pump that apparently was saying, please see cashier. Because the next one, 10 feet up, works. It's not my card. It's whatever. It's just a pump. I select that one pump sincerely more often than I don't. And it's just so weird. It's so weird. I'm like, how do I do this?
A lot of people like to give me grief specifically because they say, like, that's your fault because you're speaking it. I've had such bad luck in my life for so long. And I'm not acting like I'm not acting like I have the worst life ever. I'm not.
Yep.
Chill.
Exactly.
I'm chill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. All right? We're making it. 25. Long way to go, and I'm doing fine, okay?
Hopefully.
But that being said, I've had such bad luck in things where luck can come into a play, seemingly, for so long that I speak this bad luck thing is going to happen. And it always happens. You should stop saying it. You should stop. That's why it's happening.
I just know it's going to.
So I try it every now and then. It doesn't work. I'm darned if I do, darned if I don't. So let's not act like I'm just so aware like this is going to happen. I remember one time I was playing Mario Party, and your roles in Mario Party are predetermined at the start of the turn. Every single player, before the turn starts, at the end of the minigame, before anything happens, has 3 numbers assigned to them. If you roll 1 dice block, there's 1, and if you have like the mushroom where you can get up to 3 dice blocks, those numbers are predetermined before anyone else is gone. So if you're last, right, if you're the last person to go and you get shuffled around and stuff like that, your dice rolls are not, they were predetermined at the end of the minigame, okay? Interesting little fun fact, right? I'm going dead last. I'm winning. I'm up by 2 stars going into the bonus stars already. I am 2 spaces away from a star to go up 3 stars. You can roll 1 through 10. 3 stars if you don't know Mario Party. Going into bonus stars, you're cooked. You got to win all 3 and hope I win 0, okay? And so I say out loud, I just have to roll anything that isn't a 1. And I get this star, and that should be GG's. Okay? I said, so you know what I'm rolling, guys? And they say, oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it.
That's what they say.
I'm like, I said, I'm rolling a 1 here. I'm rolling a 1 here. They're like, come on, stop. You're just saying that. You're just saying that. I'm like, I could roll anything 1 through 10. There is a 10% chance here that I don't get a star. I'm not getting this star. Promise you. Mm-hmm. And I think it is a little fit. I think they do try to rubber band you, a term used for like keeping people close. If you're too far back, you get advantage.
They rig
if you're
it,
too far up.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
And that's fine. I have no issues with that. But I'm like, we have no evidence of anything being rigged in terms of dice rolls in Mario Party. So I should have a 1 in 10 chance here of not getting the star. Of course I know it. Of course it happens. And then some people like to tell me you're self-handicapping. It's a way to cope in case the bad thing happens. So you're either surprised that it doesn't, or, see, I said that was going to happen. I'm like, I'm not saying, oh, maybe I don't know. I'm saying you're wrong. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just telling you. I'm cursed. My wife swears I'm cursed. What a great thing to hear from your significant other, huh? I think you're cursed. Yeah, maybe. I've asked my parents a couple times, like, who did we piss off back in the day? Yeah. Who did our great-great-great-grandfather piss off? Madam Zamboni? Is that what her name is from Holes?
If you forget to come back for Madam Zaroni, you and your family will be cursed for always and eternity.
That's a great movie, bro. Great movie.
Love it. And I'm sure everybody, literally the most successful businessman on earth can pick certain areas where he's like, yeah, I got a bad streak in that category or whatever. Anybody can. Another one I like to always bring up is the fact that every time I've gone and seen my Miami Dolphins live, they have not only lost, but every time it has gotten more like terrible, like egregious, like why did I come to this game? We're getting our butts kicked loss. This year, my brother's favorite team will play my favorite team. We know it. It will be at his team. So that's the only thing giving me hope is that it's at his team. Because I promise you, if it were in Miami, it would be on there is one weekend. It's him this time. So I have hope because it's him. It's him this time that has one weekend during the football season where he's like, I will be out of town. I cannot attend the game if it's on this one weekend. I'm like, dude, well, it's my team we're wanting to go see too, so I promise you it'll probably fall on that weekend. We'll see. the fact that it's at his team and he's the one on vacation, maybe
You're like, his luck isn't that bad. His luck isn't that bad. We'll see.
Yeah. I have long said if I ever walked into a casino, it would only be with my brother because he has an insane luck.
I very frequently like to say I like to attach myself to people with better luck than me, and it tends to work out better for me in those cases. My wife has very good luck. I've started having her, if I'm only buying like 1 or 2 packs of Pokemon cards, I'm like, you open them. You open them. This chick pulls fire. This one set came out. There was one card that was the most sought after. It was worth like $110 when the set came out, which is quite a bit for like a top card in a set. Set's been out for like 3 weeks. I haven't opened anything. I see 2 packs. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll buy it. I'm like, okay, pick which one you want to open. She picks it. We open them at the same time. She pulls the best card in the set. It's like a 1 in 500 chance. I'm like,
okay. I was getting ready to say,
see?
like, the luck there would be her picking the ones off the shelf.
There's only 2.
You brought it back. Period,
I get
to
it.
say that of the
and
2
I know,
she
like, well, if
picked
you'd opened it, you would have, bro. If I was opening it, it wouldn't have had that card. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it would
that's
have
just how it goes.
materialized.
My luck is just, I could go on and on with boring examples like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I saved up as a freshman in high school for this one Pokemon card box set. It was $80. That was a lot for me at the time. Still a lot. That's still $80 on cards. That's a lot. This set I had really good luck with, buying the 3 or 4 pack boxes of it. You can only buy it in box sets, right? You buy 2 packs of it, you're getting a good hit, whatever. This came with 10 packs. I got 1 bad pull. As in, like, it's an ultra rare. It's like a 50-cent ultra rare out of all 10 packs. This is a known, like, inflated set that I had already had good luck with. I saved up so much money to get this box set, didn't pull squat. Nothing, bro. And that happened again with another big box set. I can't remember which one it was, but it was more expensive. This was as an adult. It was like 120. Awful. Awful, dude. Anytime I'd save up to get a big, expensive thing like that, forget it, bro. Forget about it.
Yeah. Long story short, to summarize this segment, we're not, woe is me, my life sucks.
I'm trying to be anyways.
All we're saying is, I think we agree. All we're saying is we would not go to a casino because we know we would lose.
Unless we just had $50 to blow. I've thought about doing that. Even though, like,
would.
Gambling is taboo to where we're from. A lot of people would look at you funny.
Yeah,
I'm like, it'd be fun.
I would
The
go
first time
to a
fun.
casino and put $20 in a game of blackjack and see what happens. I would do
Yeah.
that. I know I'm going to lose. So I'm not, forget the fact that it's a casino and you're probably going to lose anyway. It's the fact of I'm going to lose.
I'm going to lose. Which I didn't know they rigged blackjack, as dumb as that sounds. I just thought they have at least a 51% chance of making money, therefore the game works, therefore it's profitable, therefore a casino can carry it. That's the general basis. Blackjack is rigged at casinos, too. They have little mirrors. Like, their cards are face down. They have little mirrors showing them what their numbers are.
I don't understand how it's illegal to count cards. I've never understood that. If you are so smart, if you are so talented that you can sit there and count, I mean, what do they use sometimes? 3, 5 decks of cards?
Yeah.
If you can sit there and say, okay, this, okay, he should have this. If you can do that, more power to you. Scam him. I love it. Rain Man, one of my favorite movies. You ever seen Rain Man?
I'm not.
Oh God, that's not the premise of the movie, but that's one of the things in the movie is that the brother is different in the head, but he's great with numbers, and they count cards and they win big in Vegas. It's like, why can't you do it? What do you mean I can't do it? I'm smarter than you. Sorry.
The funny thing about it is, I don't know how stuff like this is even legal, because I feel like the odds are not well enough posted. In blackjack, which is one of the more skill-based games, you can only take, statistically helpful chances in blackjack. It is one of the more skill-based games, and that is that it's a learnable skill. Mm-hmm. Ask anybody who knows anything about casinos; they'll kick you out if you start winning too much.
Yeah.
Right? They'll straight up kick you out. They'll be like, "You're done. You're not winning. You've won too much. Did I do something wrong? Yeah, you won too much. Isn't that why we're all here?"
Yeah. I'm sorry that of the 1,000 people in here that you're getting thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars from, that I'm the one that's winning 100,000 from you. Yeah, kick me out. Ugh,
yeah,
suck it. Like, I don't.
Cracks me up whenever it's like, say that like you made a mistake. I don't really know a good example for this. I feel like I'll be able to say this and you'll know what I mean. Mm-hmm. If you win on slots, again, never been to a casino. Don't nobody look at me funny, mom, dad, if you're listening. But if you win at slots, it'll say like win big, a jackpot, right? It's going to be like attendant on the way. Machine shut down, attendant on the way. They will not give you a dime until they make sure every freaking component of that machine was perfect. Okay? Okay. What about... Oh, okay. Let me give you a better example here. Just to say why I don't think this stuff is fair and it shouldn't be allowed. Parlays. Sports betting, okay?
Parlay!
Statistical adjustments do not count. If you bet, say LeBron James over 6.5 assists, okay?
Okay.
There's a play where you're like, oh, yes, an assist. Yeah, there it is right there. They didn't score that an assist? I don't know why they did that. He ends the game with 6. Whoever didn't hit. Mm-hmm. They, in the NBA, can adjust after the fact. Hey, we went back and realized it was an assist. At it. You don't win your bet all of a sudden. No, sir. Nope.
That's insane, dude.
No, it freaking doesn't.
That's insane.
It does not count. And if you win a bet, that is like massive. Like one of those $1 wins you $2,500 parlays, 15 legs, crazy bull crap, right? If they went back and it's just such a scam. It's such a scam. Hey, we realized you had Connor Bedard over 2.5 goals tonight. We had that offered at plus 1,600. We realized the odds that we meant to be offering were plus 1,575. Therefore, your entire card is voided. We're refunding your original dollar back. So sorry. How was that allowed? That's
a scam.
Absolute scam. Hey, we're not winning money, so you're done. Hey, you're taking money from us. You can't do that. We can only take it from you.
Right.
Why is that allowed?
Because it makes billionaires rich and poor people poorer. And we live in America.
Yes. One more thing. You ever heard that term or that joke about like your car knows when you got a little more money? Your car hears, oh, you got a little more money, huh? Let me just cost you $600 real quick. Might just break down. I recently received a raise and bonuses, and I knew absolutely I was going to have to be. That's not why I said that.
No,
I knew
it wasn't. That wasn't sarcastic. I know
it was. I know. You're good.
You.
Not coming at you.
All right.
Coming at anybody else out there, like, wow.
What a braggadocious man.
Those people do exist. I get seen as self-qualifying too much. You qualify yourself too much. That's because I'm constantly doubted for every word that comes out of my mouth. My intentions are constantly, misread, misjudged. So, God forbid, I got a little sick of it and I just decided to get ahead of the curve most of the time. Anyways, I knew I was like, I'm cooked, bro. We're going to have to absolutely spend some money on the car soon. And yeah, I got to buy a whole new set of tires, get an alignment. Which, it's like, well, that happens anyways. I'm like, dude, we got a nail on one of our tires. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I knew when this money came in, I was going to have to spend some more on our car. Nothing was wrong. Everything was working fine. Nail on the tire.
Then all of a sudden, it wasn't.
Okay. Well, these other 2 tires are really bad anyways, and this one has a nail in it, so that's 3. You need 4. You shouldn't get 3 tires, so you need 4 tires. Why wouldn't I? Huh. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. I'm like, this is par for the course.
Do you know that?
The personification of my luck.
Do you know that bit of the comedian, like, whenever you go to a mechanic, if you're not a car guy, and you gotta, like, describe what your car's doing? Bro. I love it, dude. Like, he's making this funny noise. And, they're secretly making funny. Like, well, what noise is it making? He's like, then you got to stand in the lobby and go, it's going.
Do you have issues going to the mechanic too, or no? Do you qualify as enough of a car guy?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So,
if I go I know, like, enough, like, if I go and get my oil changed and they say, like, your air filter's bad, you want us to replace that for you? I'm like, no, I got it. Because I know I'm going to pay half to do it myself. Yeah. I honestly, the only reason I don't replace my own oil is because I haven't invested in jack stands yet to like hold my car, because I'm not getting under a car on a jack or unless it's safe. I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I know enough, I think, to where like I'm not going to get scammed, but also I am, if I go to the thing and my truck's just making a noise, I don't know why, I'm not like, I think it's the carburetor. I'm like, it's making the noise. Yeah. I have to do that.
You know the term like a knock in your engine?
Yeah.
The knock. Okay. We had a car that I was 99% sure had one when we got it, right? And if you don't know, a piston knock can literally cause your whole engine to basically unalive itself if it gets to a certain point. Whole engine's gone. You're cooked. You're not fixing it.
You can throw a piston. You can throw a rod. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's done. It's over, bro. And we bought a car last year that we've since got rid of. It's the one that got stolen. It was the one that was a massive problem. It's a perfect example of what we're talking about here today. This car was the worst, bro. From the day we got it. You have a week-long warranty to figure out If you want to return it, no questions asked.
On the 8th day.
Hey, we're delivering this. Definitely get an inspection within the first week because they pay for it and they'll fix anything they see. Okay, great. First of all, 10 minutes of driving it, the check engine light comes on. No worries, man. I get a free inspection and any repairs that need done are paid for. It just has to be in one of these 2 garages. Okay. Call these 2 garages. What's the soonest we can get you in? 8 days from now.
And that's where they
got me in
on purpose.
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay.
No. Because their thing is you have 3 months to get repairs fixed, but you can only return the car within the first week.
Okay.
They give me in 8 days. Hey, yo, it's got this really big problem that needs this really specific part. It's going to be 4 months before I get it. Okay. 4 months later, we're having all sorts of problems. The car sucks. I won't go and bore you with the details. That part comes in. All right, we got that part in. Great. Comes in. They do pay for it. Great. Doesn't fix the problem. But now we're past our warranty. We're way past that first week where I can take the car back. No questions asked. Long story short, I traded this car in a year later for less than half of what I'm paying for it. And so I'm paying like $600 for a $300 a month car monthly. It's great. Huh. Great stuff. To get back to the mechanic thing real quick before I move on, this car had a knock in it. I knew it had a knock in it. It's not going where you think it's going. The whole engine didn't go kaput because I traded it in scared that it would. We couldn't afford for that engine to go kaput. That's why we were like, screw it. I'm taking the negative equity on this car and we're trading it in. And thank the Lord we've got a very good car now. But I go to a garage. It's in this period. We tell them up front and they're familiar with it. They know it's this warranty program they know about. I'm like, find whatever you want. Charge us whatever you want. Do what you want, okay? It's not out of my pocket. You're getting fully... And they're like, yeah, no, for sure. I tell them, one of the many times we see these guys, by the way, I'm like 90% sure it's got a knock in the engine. Can you look at that? Go to pick it up. Yeah, it's not a knock in the engine, bro. It's not a knock in the engine, bro. It was a knock in the engine. Like 10,000% confirmed.
It was,
after
in fact,
the fact.
a knock in the engine.
Yeah. Because my brother-in-law is a diesel mechanic, and my entire wife's side of the family is fantastic with cars. I'm not so fortunate. They're like, you got a knock in the engine, right? I'm like, that is a knock in the engine? Like, yeah, for sure. That's definitely a knock in the engine. Yeah. And they checked it out, and they're like, yeah, it's a knock in the engine, bro. You gotta be careful. This piston's cracked. I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, okay.
So,
great.
Can't do anything about it. One other mechanic story. I don't know how we got on the subject, but it's interesting to me. This is stupid, but I brought this up 2 days ago, so it's fresh in my mind. I told my wife, I was like, remember that time they did that stupid thing? I'm going to get something fixed, or something along those lines. They're like, which one is it? And I go, driver's side front. Or sorry, I said it's the front left tire or something like that. And he looks at me, he goes, what? The front left tire? Driver's side or passenger?
You can't
front or rear? This is the driver's side front? Okay. I can't say the front left tire and you know what the frick I'm talking about? This ain't a boat, bro. It ain't port and starboard. You know what I'm talking about when I say the front of my car. Okay?
It'd literally be the same. Yeah.
Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the front left. Driver's side, rear, driver's side front. You know what I'm talking about. And he wasn't that aggressive with me, but he was snarky about it. He acted like he didn't know what I meant until I clarified. I'm like, you don't have to be a douche about it, buddy.
Yeah.
So, I hate it. I absolutely hate it, bro.
I hate Christmas.
Anyways, that was another good episode of Headaches and Hot Takes. Wouldn't you agree?
Fantastic.
Kind of
thank you,
giving
AI.
bangers. Thank you, AI,
Thank you,
for delivering a
ChatGPT.
fantastic
Very cool.
episode.
Thank you, ChatGPT. Very cool.
Very
to
cool.
summarize this episode, whenever you start looking for something, you will see it more often. It's just selective attention. That's just how that
We
works.
think so anyways, yeah.
Hot dogs are sandwiches. And
For
we
sure.
will apparently, at a future time, discuss how all major food components are either sandwiches, salads, or soups. And our luck sucks. It's not a woe is me. It's just I have acknowledged it.
I have eyes.
accepted it, and I laugh at it.
I see what happens.
I literally laugh at it. Yeah. So, sound off if your luck. If you have some stories of luck. If you disagree, the hot dogs or sandwiches, you're stupid. But tell us, and we'll listen to your stupid
Have
opinion.
you learned yet where they can tell us these thoughts and opinions?
They can reach us at Twitter. They can reach us on Twitter at HeadacheSpot.
Did you just look over and see it on Twitter, or what? How did
No,
you...
I am on Twitter, but no, I did not see that.
Okay. At HeadacheSpot on Twitter. That's us.
At HeadacheSpot.
At Twitter is
And-
us too.
and
That's
or-
another story.
And or on TikTok at Headaches and Hot Takes.
Yes, sir. How about it? Any closing remarks from you, Hearn?
No, I'm excited to get back to one of our headaches and or hot takes next week because I feel like we always get a little bit more heated than we did this week. I don't like when we agree.
sure.
Agreeing's not fun.
Yeah, it's tough when we agree. It's kind of the whole
I might
point of the
have to pick-
podcast. We
have
respected
to
each
pick
other's
a hot
ability to
one.
debate and thought we would disagree enough to be able to do this. That's the whole reason we thought this should work. We should disagree enough and also not get our feelings hurt. And for the first, 6 or 7 episodes, we didn't disagree one time.
Not really at all, yeah.
We were like, I like that. We're like, what?
I do
So-
too, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm going to have to dig up a hot one for next week, so we'll see what happens. But we love you. Bless you for making it this far. Shout out AI. Anything else, pal?
We're talking about practice, man.
Talking about
Who day, baby?
playoffs. Peace.